Organ transplants and blood transfusions are issues that affect thousands of people throughout the United Kingdom every year. 7,000 people at any given time are waiting for an organ transplant in the UK.
1,000 of these people will die because they don't receive a transplant in time to save their lives.
My mother has a condition called dilated cardiomyopathy, which basically means the valve which pumps blood around her body from her heart doesn't work properly. Her disease can lead to full or partial heart failure, and the disease can be hereditary. If my mother's heart were to fail, she will end up on a transplant list awaiting a new heart. I am a blood and organ donor, and I have been since my mother was diagnosed.
My mother's side of the family have a history of life-threatening heart conditions. We'll be looking into whether England should adopt Wales's opt-out organ donation registration. Does blood transfusions improve your quality of life? And should the government be more proactive in promoting organ donation to prevent those who are dying, waiting and are having alternative treatments?
This documentary was created to open people's eyes to the realities of becoming a donor and the potential lives that could be saved.
We'll be following the lives of those who are most affected, such as donors themselves, victims and medical staff. We'll be asking the question of whether the audience themselves will want to become organ and blood donors. Not being given the option of a heart transplant meant Lorna had to endure a lifetime of dangerous complex surgeries. At 16 years old, she died on the operating table.
She's just like your normal sort of like teenage girl, really. Like, she was nice. She was like friendly. You know, she was unwaveringly loyal. She's one of the bravest people that I knew. You know, like not many people her age went through what she did. You know, she hadn't really formed a personality yet because she wasn't old enough, let's say. You don't really think to invest your time in someone because you always think they're going to be there. You never stop missing someone. You never get over it. You just learn to live with it. I do have a picture of her in my wallet, which is just there. It was the last operation that she needed to have. The heart stent operation essentially involves putting a cage into the aorta to inflate it because her aorta had scar tissue on it. It was sort of getting tighter and narrower, so they needed to use the stent in order to expand it. And basically what happened was that there was a complication during the procedure. That they negligently removed the cage too fast and it caused internal bleeding, and they only noticed when it was too late to save her. Lorna passed away. I think it was through bleeding to death. I don't feel like she shouldn't have had the operation. I feel like the people that were supposed to help her failed her. I don't feel like she shouldn't have had the operation. I feel like he should have took more care with what he was doing. He had someone else's life in his hands, and he should have took it more seriously, and he should have thought harder.
My mother's cardiomyopathy could lead to full or partial heart failure, meaning that she could be placed on the transplant list as an emergency at a moment's notice.
I have to stop those because when I'm lying down at night I need to keep my heart elevated because of my heart condition.
Is there a chance you could ever need a heart transplant?
Yeah, it's possible in the future. Hopefully the medication will keep it under control, but if it does deteriorate then the only option is a heart transplant.
And do you think that blood and organ donation is like a good thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, might need one myself.
Yeah, but how do you feel about me being a blood and organ donor?
I'll be fine with that. I think it's everybody has the choice to do it. Yeah, I'd be quite proud of you if you did actually.
I already am one.
Good, so am I.
This is my mum, Joanne. She's a lot less positive about the idea of becoming a donor than Sharon.
What is your opinion on blood and organ donation?
I think it is a good idea. I've not signed up for it myself because I'm just a bit nervous about doing it. Not actually about the procedure of having your blood taken so much, but just about the tempting fate side of it. When you said you were going to do it, at first when your card came, I hid it and didn't give it to you because I just felt like almost like something might happen now you've become a donor.
Ellie's dad has been toying with the idea of becoming an organ donor, and here he shows us just how easy it is.
What are you doing at the minute?
I've just received my NHS organ donor card in the post, and I've just completed my application form, which I have to return to advise which organs I'm donating. I decided to donate all the organs plus tissue, which is selection A on the form.
And what made you come to the decision to donate?
It's something that I thought about for a long time, and I just think it's the right thing to do. I think the fact that you've done this as a project triggered me, a reminder really to follow through on it.
Helen Ogden received an emergency blood transfusion which stopped her dying just minutes after giving birth to her first child. She can hardly believe that someone's donation kept her alive.
That came out, they left me to it to rest, and then I realised I wasn't feeling well, and as soon as I came off the bed they realised I was bleeding, and then I passed out and I had a drip and a blood transfusion going in. I think I could possibly have died really without it. I feel very grateful really. Without them I might not have survived, or I wouldn't be here and be able to have my second son. So yeah, very grateful indeed.
Do you think it should now be mandatory for people to donate?
I think it's a good idea. There's not, the organs are no good to a person once they're dead.
To potentially save someone's life is nothing. I think everybody should do it.
It is a good idea as long as there is an opt-out clause for people.
Yeah, I think that is a good idea, and that everybody then has got the option to opt out.